What's up, beautiful people? This is Pretty Girl Love Trap content. This is my recap / review for Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me check myself, okay? Season 14, episode 7. Who gon' check me? Boo, okay? Famous lines of Miss Sheree Whitfield. Not sure what season I was in, but we already know. We already know she wasn't playing no games, all right? So yeah, how did you guys feel about this episode? Please drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Please ensure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber, I appreciate you guys dearly. Okay, so y'all, let's get into the episode. Okay, so we pick up where we left off. Drew came to feast. Okay. Came in a nick of time after the food has been all prepared. Everybody else been slaving over a hot stove. And yes, she decided to take Miss Sonia up in her offer to come to the event, okay? Because we need all of the appearance checks that we can possibly get, okay? We are trying to do the perfect attendance up in here, all right? Y'all not gonna mess with my coin. Y'all not gonna mess with my coin, all right? So, of course, it's awkward. And, Drew was like, you know what? I'm a good friend. So that's why I showed up. Okay. You're not going to be able to tell me I'm not a good friend. So I'm like, okay, Drew, kudos to you. Okay. And in this situation, honestly, I'm more, I could say, on Drew's side because it seems a little off. Like I understand Sonia's point of view, but I feel like at this point, Drew has really warranted all of this heat from you at this point. So I'm low-key team Drew when it comes to this situation at this time, okay? So Sonia, we had to bring out the achievement, okay? Because these girls do not seem to understand my worthiness, okay? So we had to bring a prize for the Drop It Like It's Hot contest, okay? The wine, the dirty wine of it all, the dirty wine contest, okay? So she says, hey, the gift for the winner will be one of my medals, okay? I won in 2012. So here you guys go. So Marlo won, of course. So everyone gets to see the award of it all, okay? And Sonya, look at them arms. She's real cut, like she'd be still in the gym every day. I guess she probably is because she got that 0% body fat up in there, okay? Not mad at you, girl. Not mad at all. But of course, we get shade from the girls in the confessionals, okay? Why do we have to see this? Is Kenya bringing her crown? Like, I get it because it's like, why do we need to see this medal? Like, I don't know. I'm impressed with her accomplishments, but I'm like, I don't really need to see this. Like, I get it, girl, but I don't really need it. But go ahead, girl. Shine, get your accomplishments on because 4-time Olympic gold and a bronze, because she said she don't talk about a bronze. I'm like, okay, girl. Like, that is a feat that has not really been duplicated at this point. So, girl, kudos to you, okay? Your girl Drew and Sonya get into it again because Drew proceeds to tell Sonya the whole Mommy Nation event was for clout. She doing this for clout. Yes, shout out to Cardi B and Offset. But yes, and I think Drew was insinuating that she was doing it for clout when it came to Kenya and Candy because they have a lot of clout. Not necessarily using her name for clout, okay? And of course, I feel like she wasn't able to explain herself or did not do it fairly well because Sonya was like, I don't need the clout. I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Like, hands on the table. You're not playing with me, okay? We're playing spades up in here. Big joker on the table. Little joker on the table. Deuce of diamonds. Deuce of clubs. Yes, girl. What are you doing? You want me to bring out the aces? what are you doing? Because I have all the books up in here. Like, girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't need no clout. My name is forever written in history, boo boo. But I really honestly don't think that's what Drew was talking about. But she could have been. We never know. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but we don't know. But of course, we have to bring up another thing. Drew mentions that Sonya got her makeup done for free in New York. And, Sonya was like, hey, he just touched up my makeup. And he told me it was $25. And you never gave me his contact information. So at this point, I'm like, Sonya, now I've gotten my makeup done numerous times, okay? And typically, if you are going to another spot, one of your friends' houses or hotels, and their makeup artists do your makeup, you don't leave the room with the makeup artist before you pay them. Right now, this day and age, you got Cash App, you got cash. Like, there are so many options. Zelle, like, they typically give you those details before you leave the same room. So for you to blame not being able to pay the makeup artist on Drew, I don't know. Like, it may work differently when it comes to Housewives. I don't know if they get reimbursed. I don't know the ins and outs, but typically for regular girls, their makeup artists don't let you leave that room until they get paid, unless they really trust you. But there's no reason for you not to pay them at that time. Everyone has their phone on them. Like, it takes 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Even when I get my hair done, and sometimes I pay my hairstylist via Cash App before I leave the chair. Like, not saying she know I ain't good for it, but that's just common courtesy. Like, you pay before you go. You pay before you go. So yeah, that I couldn't get behind you, Sonya, but maybe in the Housewives world, in the TV world, they do things a little different. And look at this face Drew got. And the mama, they're like, what? What are we talking here? Like, clout? I don't pay my bills. Girl, what are you insinuating here? Like, no. You have the wrong one. And the head is kind of caught at like an 85-degree angle. It's not full 90 degrees at this point. But yeah, we can see, because when you get that full 90 degree, it's going to be a problem, okay? And mama, she don't need to cock the head. Look at the face. The face looks like, girl, if you say one more word, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to cut you real good. And not, theoretically, like in real life, like for real. Shout out to mama, because look at her and Mama Joyce. They just trying to eat. And Mama Joyce says what they're talking about is so insignificant. What's going on here? Yes, Mama Joyce. For once, you're not the one in the scene that's not turning up. Kudos to you, Mama Joyce, for not being in the middle of the drama. Okay, I love me some Mama Joyce. Okay, but yeah, the mamas are just looking at their daughters like, child, I just need to go here and eat my food, because they are looking a hot mess up in here, okay? A hot mess, all right? So we see Kenya and Candy looking like two girlfriends, like, whoo, thank God this ain't got nothing to do with me. But we see, oh God, the mama about to beat her ass, because Drew is pissing Sonya mamas off, okay? Because, you can tell they're close, and we are not having you talk to my daughter any type of way, okay? Because okay. So we get off for Drew and Sonya, and we get on Kenya, okay? Because of course Drew has to mention that Kenya told her she felt uncomfortable with the whole vibrator situation. And Candy was like, you told Drew, but you didn't tell me. And I get where Candy's coming from, but I honestly feel like it was no harm on Kenya's point. It was just a conversation that her and Drew was having. I don't feel like Kenya was necessarily being shady, but not mentioning it to Candy. But sometimes, you have little side conversations with other friends about certain situations, and it's not, something that you feel like is meant to bring up. But I see both sides in this situation. So yeah, Candy wasn't feeling, not being shared, the feelings of it all. from Kenya, right? And Candy was like, girl, not the co-star of Twa. Not the co-star of Twa talking about she conservative about the sexualities and whatnot. How many of y'all have seen Twa? Please let us sister know. I remember that movie. Let us sister know. And yeah, Kenya was like, well, that's different. That was a whole nother situation, boo. Like, this was a good 20 years ago. So in this situation, I see both sides as well, because yes, this is a movie. This is 20 years ago. We are a different time. Like, you can't judge me based on my artwork, my work. But at the same time, it does show in your history, like, you not really that conservative overall. So at this point, I'm kind of in the middle as well. Okay. So the dinner ends and we check in with Marlo. Okay. Maybe the next day or however long it's been since the dinner. Okay. But Marlo is speaking at one of those women empowerment engagements and conferences, as we see so much, with women telling other women how to get their ish together. Long story short, okay? I don't have anything wrong to say about these women empowerment conferences, but there has been situations where women just start these conferences and host them low key as a scam, not really trying to be on the women empowerment, but just trying to get the money. Okay. So it's really cute. And, the moderators, Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. The moderator is asking, please, 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 Marlo, let us know how life has been for you. So she goes into explaining her, upbringing. Her mom was on drugs, very abusive, and she grew up in a foster care program, and it was a saving grace for her. And she also, they're showing some pictures of Marlo looking so cute. Like, her nephews look just like her. Oh my God, I love this picture of Marlo as a teen. And yeah, we see she has a foundation, a nonprofit charity, Glam It Up. And the purpose of this nonprofit is to pretty much, cater to girls in foster care, just pamper them and just show them really a good time and just show them that they appreciate it, because she wished it was someone who had done that for her during her time in foster care. So I really, really love this for Marlo. Like, I really love this, just is really a good cause. Okay. And so we see her, with the girls, being, a good God glam mama. Okay. But this one photograph of her gifting seemingly a Fendi bag to one of the girls. Like, how do y'all feel about this? Because I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like all girls deserve pampering, but I'm like, if you're in high school in foster care, I don't know if a Fendi bag is necessarily the answer. I love the idea. Of course, we all need to normalize Black girl luxury. But I feel like with that Fendi bag, instead of paying $1,200-$1,500 for a Fendi bag, she could have went on a whole shopping spree and had a whole wardrobe. Okay, like, I'm just thinking, like, mathematically, like, come on, like, the Fendi bag, yes, is something that they can cherish and, can show them, like, hey, you are worth this. Like, nothing is out of your reach. But I also feel like the money could have been spent a little more wisely, if you will, but hey, it's her foundation, it's her money. Who am I to tell her how to spend it, or whoever is sponsoring it? But I just thought it was interesting, showing this particular photo. And I've always said this, like, I feel like with Marlo's upbringing, her love for, I feel like it's probably a low-key obsession with labels and designer and just, couture and all that. I feel like it's overcompensation for how she grew up. She also often talks about how she couldn't afford certain things that she wanted, when she was younger. So I feel like at this point it's full throttle. Like, I didn't get all these things, so I'm going to make sure I'm the bad bee. I make sure I am labeled head to toe. Like, I just feel like it comes from a real place in terms of her just overcompensating. And I just hope it's not clouding, just the true inner work that she has to do based on her childhood trauma. So after the event, she's FaceTiming Drew, okay? And so they're talking about the whole dinner because Drew was like, I came in late, girl, catch me up, catch me up. So they proceed to, of course, talk about Sonya, of course. And Drew was like, she betting on the wrong team. Like she's, Sonya thinks she's over there doing the right thing by siding with Candy and your girl Kenya because they have the most clout of it all. But she needs to give us the opportunity to show her we're a good time too. Like I think she's trying to write me off because she's trying to choose sides, and that ain't cute, boo boo. So Marlo was like, yeah, girl, you right. But yeah, Drew, you do be making the faces because Sonya mentioned numerous times while she's talking to Drew, stop making no faces. And Drew's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, Drew, you have to be a little more self-aware, girl. Don't get me wrong. I'm a girl who can't say I can't hide my facial expressions, but I don't try hard to hide them. It takes more work to hide them. So we see here the producers coming through in the clutch, okay, showing all the facial expressions of Drew in the conversation at the Jamaican dinner, okay? But Drew, you got to be more self-aware. You low-key know what you're doing. You're self-aware. You should be self-aware to understand the facial expressions of it all, okay? And of course, we got to have the opposition talking as well. So we see Sonya talking with her sister and her parents, talking about the whole dinner. And you see this caption here, like her sister was like, I'm not even sure, like, what's going on. Like, she wasn't even Melanie in the game. You weren't even a main cast member, girl. You low key, like, in my words, nobody really liked you, Drew, in the game. In the game, like, you was the side chick of it all. Miss Drew Sadora. Like, I love the game. It was one of my favorite shows, but it was funny because they were shading your girl Drew and the parents, especially the mama. She was like, what is the game? What is that? I don't know what's going on. I don't know nothing about what this girl has been working on for her life, okay? Like, I mean, I know about the game and the TLC movie. So, I mean, she says she has music. I've never heard of it, but I'm not going to discount it, okay? Do your thing, Drew. All right. So, y'all. Sheree over there with her life coach, and they're discussing Tyrone of it all, okay? And she tells him she is not really 100% sure that she is done with Tyrone. She said she can't promise she will never ever speak to him again. And I'm like, girl, what did he put in the Kool-Aid? Like, what else do you need to see? Like, don't get me wrong. We've all been dumb. We've all, for the most part, I can't speak for all women, but a lot of us has been dumb for a man, but not at 50. Not at 50. 20s, maybe 30s, but not at 50. And I'm pretty sure she's over 50 at this point. And so you could tell the life coach was like, I'm just probably going to quit. My work here is done. Nothing I have been teaching you the past several years is working. Like, girl, what is going on here? What do you mean? What do you mean? So they proceed to talk about She by Sheree, and she discusses how, like, hey, I haven't really been focused on it. Like, it's been just a thing. Like, nothing is coming to fruition. Like, I've dropped the ball. And, he recommends, like, hey, like, focus your energy on that instead of Tyrone. And so she was like, reluctantly, like, I guess you're right. I'm like, yes, girl, that is the kudos to him because, yes, Sheree, you need a hobby. Really, it's your business, but you low-key need a hobby. Get your mind off Tyrone because we are over it. Over it. All right. So Candy, she's over there trying to clean out her guest house, okay? And she has all these clothes she's trying to go through, and she gets a light bulb moment. She's like, hey, let me see if I can donate these clothes to Marlo's charity. And so I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute, Candy. I appreciate the thought. So we see her, she's FaceTiming Marlo, and Marlo declines and tells Candy, no, I don't do used clothes for my girls. Okay. Like, they are in foster care, they are used to used clothing. I am not going to do that to them. Now, on one hand, I understand Marlo. I understand maybe you want the girls to get new clothing, but this is clothes from Candy effing Burris. Candy Burris. And Candy said herself, sometimes I wear these clothes one time and I'm done with it. Like, this ain't gonna be Fashion Nova stuff, girl. Like, this is Candy Burris's clothes. I'm pretty sure these girls know that these clothes belong to Candy Burris. They would be gladly to accept these pieces, okay? Like, I don't understand. Like, these ain't just clothes from any old Joe Schmo. Like, this is Candy's Burris clothes. I'm pretty sure she took care of them. And I know Candy, she is not going to give them something that's holy or dirty or just worn. Like, come on, Marlo. Come on. And even if you don't want them to really have used clothes, yeah, you can still give them new stuff, but just have like a little showroom like created for them, a cute little shopping experience. And like, hey, my good girlfriend Candy donated these clothes. How about it? If you don't feel comfortable, hey, but if not, like, come on, these are Candy's clothes. Candy, we ain't the same size, but you got some accessories a girl can borrow. I ain't ashamed. I'll take them clothes. I will take them clothes, all right? Like, come on, Marlo. And then she had the nerve to say that she was offended, but we gonna get into that later on. So we see over here this little, montage of photos. Todd looking through the clothes, and he was like, "Babe, this ain't it. Like, these pieces ain't pieces." You sure? I don't think these girls gonna like these clothes. And if there was a couple pieces, I was like, I don't know, Candy, that may need to go Salvation Army or something. Like, no, those are a lost cause. But sometimes with certain pieces, you have to really wear them. They don't really look good on a hanger or if you hold it up. So I'm gonna give Candy a pass on that. All right. And so they proceed to discuss Candy's new role on the show a la carte. And yeah, she's playing a lesbian woman, a business owner, I believe a lawyer. And we see, Todd over there was like, I don't need you popping the what. Okay, girl, like, you's married, all right? And, he's feeling away about, sex scenes and what have you. She was like, babe, like, I am trying to get all of my awards. I'm trying to get the EGOT here. Like, let us just live a little bit. But I like Todd. I'm going to let Todd live. Like, I love him and Candy. They are cute together, all right? So we have this lunch between Sheree and Kenya. And Kenya called Sheree to lunch to let her know, like, Marlo has this campaign to ruin my reputation as a friend. And I'm here to let you know that ain't me. I was truly sick when we tried to have that event for you. And I'm coming to you to let you know, like, girl, I'm genuine. I'm not a bad friend. I'm a great friend. I'm very loyal. And please take my word. And so, of course, Sheree was like, okay, girl, I appreciate you explaining yourself. So yes, I accept your apology. And then they also have this, conversation about business. And Kenya is very stressed because her business is in trouble. She's supposed to have a deadline to one of her retailers. I believe she may be talking about CVS. I don't know why Walmart's in my head, but I know for sure she has a deal with CVS. And there was an issue with the delay in the packaging in the bottles, and that pretty much delayed her shipment to give to her retailer for samples. So she is real stressed because she admittedly, just mentioned like, hey, I allow my personal life to get in involved with my professional life and my business, and I've been slacking, long story short. And Sheree was like, yeah, She by Sheree was the same way. And they both admit they don't really have teams and they've been doing everything alone. And I understand being a business owner is hard work. Trust me, I know it's stressful, okay? Sometimes it is easier to be an employee versus an employer. So I understand their stress. And I just hope Sheree starts She by Sheree, because I honestly was excited when I first heard about it. What was it? 10 years ago? Like, I'm like, okay, cute joggers. Like, yes, come through. But it never came through. And Sheree also mentioned, like, I'm a little frustrated because every time I try to connect with someone that's a male, they always trying to hit on me at the end of the day. And Kenya was like, well, they're trying to find you some women CEOs that you ain't got to worry about that, because, yeah, that ain't cute. That ain't cute. I'm like, you never had that idea, Sheree? You never had that idea? Like, what's going on? Like, did you really want She by Sheree to blow up? Like, let us sister know. So we have beautiful Kenya over here, and she sends a group text, hey, beautiful ladies, I want us all to meet up one of these days for a girls outing so we can show our support for Sheree and convey that we are a village and sisterhood. Details to follow. So we see Sonya says, yes, let's support our girl Sheree. I think we see Drew over here. I'm in, girl, let me know. Just let me know. And Marlo, I'm there, diva. Love my She by Sheree. So, it's cute that really Kenya is making a true effort on hearing Sheree up. But I must add, Sheree needs to take the first step and stop effing with bum a Negroes. Like, girl, get the choosing a little better, and we ain't got to worry about all these events to throw to mend your broken heart. I'm just saying. So we get a glimpse of Candy because she is in LA, okay, and she is filming for a la carte. I heard that's actually a good show. I need to check it out. It's on one of these streaming apps. Jessie Woo, I believe, is her love interest, and Jessie Woo has become one of my favorite vloggers and YouTubers. So kudos to her. Okay, I gotta check that show out. And yes, we come to this lunch because this is Real Housewives of Atlanta, aka Ladies Who Lunch. And of course, what is a lunch without argumentations up in here, okay? And so we are still talking about the whole Sheree cheer up event. Marlo and Kenya get into it yet again. And Marlo proceeds to shade Kenya's wig. And you tell Kenya is kind of going through it. She's stressed out. And she admits that this wig is indeed a hot mess. I honestly feel like if you get that part right, just get a rat tail comb, get that part right, put a little oil sheen and brush it a little more, it'll be good. It'll be all gravy. Like, I don't think that wig is really that horrible in terms of, like, the bones of it all. I feel like it is salvageable, girl. Just get a little maintenance done and you good. Like, don't worry about it. But of course, they end up arguing. I'm a little tired of this whole beef between Kenya and Marlo. Like, y'all want to be friends or not? Like, let a sister know, okay? They low-key simmer down, and we get into an argument between Drew and Sonya, okay? Because Sonya felt bad for, not inviting Marlo and Sheree. So she invites them to a Nike event. And Drew was like, so you're disinviting me for that too? Because you mentioned that event to me. And so Sonya was like, well, girl, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And calm down. So they get into this argument because I get both sides on this too, in a sense, because I'm sure Sonya mentioned this to Drew, just, how you talk to your good girlfriends about events and stuff. And she probably did invite Drew. But of course, in the midst of all their drama, she probably, disinvited her. Who wants to go on a trip with someone you're beefing with. I'm just saying that doesn't make much sense to me. But they get into an argument, and Sonya goes from 1 to 100 real quick, like real quick. She tells Drew like she's whack, like it's uncalled for. And I'm low key like I'm in the middle because Drew was over talking Sonya, wouldn't allow her to speak, and yes, that's an issue. So I don't understand, like this situation should be nipped in the bud. Like I don't get why the beef is beefing, but low key, if they were not beefing, a lot of the content would not be there with the Housewives. So I guess we need the pettiness of it all. But yes, it was a hot mess to the point where Kenya, she started moving your girl Drew's chair because they was getting to the faces. I'm like, is this Monique and Candace all over again? Potomac? Like, what's going on here? We do not need the issues, okay? But Sheree, she's over there on Sonya's side, trying to calm everybody down. And so Kenya over there, she removed Drew, and in the hallway, she's like, Drew, well, you want to let Sonya talk. Like, you have to take some accountability of your actions. But at the end of the day, she was trained by the greatest, Raggedy Ralph. Because when you know better, you do better. But when you're in a toxic situation like that, you tend to pick up toxic tendencies. So she don't really know how to argue or have conversations because she's been dealing with Ralph, okay? And so we have this scene with Marlo and her nephews, and I believe it's the nanny. And she's having a situation about her sister. And long story short, her sister has some mental health issues. She had a traffic violation, and she's going to court on this day, and she has a hearing because she's trying to take it to trial because they want to have her in-house treatment, but she wants to be an outpatient. And the judge really is against that. And the sister really wants to be out there in them streets to be outpatient, but it's not the best decision. So Marlo has a scheduled call to have her nephews try to convince their mom to do the inpatient treatment, y'all. Sorry, I don't know why I can't talk tonight. Maybe because it's late and I was tired. But yeah, y'all know your girl. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, there's so much to unpack here. Like being a mom T, I get it. It's a lot of stress. I do love seeing the vulnerable side of Marlo. But I don't know if this could have been, something that the cameras should not be involved with. I don't know. I'm very sensitive when it comes to children and these type of matters on camera, because you don't want to create further issues and further trauma. But long story short, the sister did not react well to this call. She ended up getting irate and started to curse Marlo out, blaming her for the whole situation. And we see Marlo get very emotional. And it was a lot. It was a lot. But yes, it was, I don't know, the scene just felt a little weird to me because they're like in this lobby, and I'm like, I feel like they could have went somewhere else because, there was the lunch that they had. So it seems like Marlo low-key was trying to multitask, but I feel like there could have been a more private situation, maybe the home, or I don't know. Like, I just feel like maybe you could have missed out on the lunch, but, she's trying to get them coins, perfect attendance. So I don't know, but let me know how you guys think about that whole situation with Marlo and the kids and the whole mom tea thing. I definitely feel like she has her nephew's best interest at heart, but at the same time, I'm very sensitive on how we treat children and being on camera, especially in vulnerable situations as these, y'all. But next week, child, look at this scene. We see Kenya and Marlo going at it. And I'm like, dang, we could at least go half the season with y'all being cool. Like, we should already know this situation was not genuine. Like, I really wanted them to be cool, good girlfriends. But of course, this would not be Housewives if it were, okay? So we have my peach scale, okay? So Pretty Girl Love Trap content peach scale. This is my rating scale for the episodes. Okay, so A means standing ovation. B means I'm pleased. C means that was cute. D, blank stare, because I ain't got nothing to say. And F means I want my hour back because y'all just wasted all of my time, okay? So in terms of my rating, I'm gonna give it a B. I was pleased, no complaints. I was entertained. The girls served the looks and the drama as it all, So please drop down with your ratings in the comments. Please let's discuss. How did you feel about this episode? What was your favorite parts? Please like this channel, subscribe, share. Let's get in the comments. And yes, I appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys for the next week's episode. Toodoo.